Imagine this. You're in a car accident, wake up in the hospital, but the doctors think you're brain dead. They call your family, say it's time to harvest your organs, except you're fully conscious, trapped inside your own body, screaming silently for help. Sounds like a horror movie? It's not. It's happening right now in our hospitals, and it's all legal. This is Hidden Toxins, and today we're diving into the hidden crisis in organ transplantation. This isn't conspiracy theory stuff. It's backed by federal investigations, whistleblower reports, and real survivor stories that will chill you to the bone. Stick around, because by the end, you'll question everything you know about donating life. If you're new here, hit subscribe and that bell. We expose the medical secrets Big Pharma doesn't want you to know. Let's jump in. First, let's talk value. Organs aren't just lifesavers, they're a multi-billion-dollar empire. A single heart transplant? Up to $1.9 million. Kidneys, hearts, livers? We're talking $446,000 to nearly $2 million per procedure. And with medical spending eating up 17.6% of the US economy, no wonder there's pressure to keep the supply flowing. But here's the dark side. Shortages mean black markets. We're talking 5% of all global transplants. That's $600 million to $1.7 billion a year in illegal trade. Kidneys make up 75% of it. Picture this. A desperate Chinese teen sells his kidney for an iPhone 4 in 2011. He gets pennies, 0.0125% of the black market rate, and ends up bedridden for life. Or a 2023 case. A Nigerian politician gets busted trying to trick a poor donor in England. Even in civilized places, it's grim. Doctors swear they didn't know. Come on. It's profit over people, and it's fueling a crisis where the vulnerable get carved up. Now the real horror. What if brain death isn't death at all? It's just unconsciousness. And sometimes you're awake inside. Ever hear of locked-in syndrome? Your body's paralyzed, but your mind's screaming. Take Martin, a 12-year-old who went into a vegetative state from meningitis. Doctors said no hope. But over years, he woke up, learned to communicate with a device, and even got married. He heard everything. The talks of pulling the plug, the whispers. Near-death survivors report the same. Hearing, feeling, touch, even seeing their own bodies during flatline moments. So when docs declare brain death, are they sure? Spoiler. No, fMRI scans show brain activity in 20% of vegetative patients. Another 25% respond to stimuli. A Harvard ethicist put it bluntly, that link between being irreversibly unconscious and being dead has never really been made in a convincing way. Brain death? Invented in 1968 by Harvard, not for ethics, but to harvest. These aren't hypotheticals. Meet Zach Dunlap, 21, ATV crash in 2007. Docs say brain dead, EEG flat, ready to harvest. Then, he moves his fingers. They cancel, and Zach wakes up. His words? The next thing I remember was laying in the hospital bed. I tried to scream, tried to move, just got extremely angry. Jahi McMath, 13, after a routine tonsillectomy, declared brain dead. Family fights. 9 months later, brainwaves return. She lives 4 more years. TJ Hoover, stab wound, brain dead. As surgeons prep, he mouths, "Help me," with tears streaming. The harvest coordinator panics, calls for a new surgeon. He survives, and it's not just adults. A 3-month-old boy, a 10-month-old baby, a 15-year-old girl, all brain dead. Families ready to donate, all wake up after docs hesitate. One study. 30% of unrecoverable patients bounce back if you just wait. Reader stories flood in. A doc shares a 65-year-old woman who sat up post-declaration. Underreported? Absolutely. Because admitting this means the whole system's built on sand. This isn't fringe. Uncle Sam's on it. Imwer FK Jr. just dropped a bombshell. Redacted federal reports showing organs harvested from patients in pain, with neurologic activity screaming alive. The OPTN, they run the show, got busted. A 2023 law broke their monopoly after scandals. 25% of kidneys lost in transit, 80% of eligible organs tossed, whistleblowers silenced. HRSA digs in. Of 103 cases, 29% were sketchy. 21% had brain activity, incompatible with harvesting. 8%, no record of cardiac death. They fudged drug overdoses as brain injuries. New York Times, 2025, 55 workers across 19 states saw it. Coordinators pushing morphine on alert patients to hasten death. One quote, 55 medical workers witnessed at least one disturbing case, coordinators persuading to administer morphine. Miami's transplant agency, decertified by HHS for ignoring brain activity, pressuring families. It's systematic, coerced consent from grieving relatives, impaired decisions, 0 waiting periods. Families report, they said he'd suffer less, but he was blinking. Even if it works, it's no fairy tale. Failure rates? Brutal. Lungs, 72% gone by year 10. Hearts, 46%. Kidneys, 46%. Lifelong drugs? 10K, 30K a year. Side effects galore. Post-COVID vax? Denials for unvaxxed and reports of 44 corneal rejections, 36 kidneys, 12 livers tanking. Creepier? Donor personalities transfer. Recipients get memories, phobias, even sexual orientations from the donor. One guy hates classical music post-heart transplant. Donor loved it. Emotions trapped in organs. It messes with outcomes if there's resistance, like subconscious no from the stolen part. And the emotional toll on families? Guilt that could last lifetimes. But here's the fire. We can fix this. Demand better diagnostics, fMRIs, not outdated tests. Independent oversight, waiting periods, second opinions. Transparency on every case. Alternatives, game changers. DMSO, yes, that's solvent, revives brain-dead patients. Restores liver, lung function, cuts rejection without toxic drugs. Bioengineered organs, regenerative meds, it's coming. Living donors, sure, but ethically. One doc. DMSO saved organs we thought were toast. HHS is cracking down. Miami's out. RFK's pushing reform. We just need to demand it. So, what's your take? Would you still check that organ donor box? Drop a comment. Have you seen this in your family? Share this if it shook you. We need to wake people up before more lives are gambled. For sources, check the description. Full article from a Midwestern doctor, NYT reports, federal docs. Like, subscribe, hit notifications.